Hey everyone, it's Alexa here, and we're starting off with our fresh face, and we're just gonna keep our eyes as is for now. I did use my white contacts, but feel free to use whatever you'd like. We're gonna do our space skull on today on day 26 of our 31 days of Halloween. Have you guys been enjoying it so far? I'm just using a light base. I'm just blending this into my skin. This is gonna give me the room to grow and blend up everything we need. You don't have to powder, but I just powdered. It's just an extra step. I was pretty oily this day, so this is what's really going to give me some full coverage here. And we're starting off with our eyes, and I'm filling them in with a black, just my whole eye socket there. We're going to work on our nose and then the rest of our face a little bit later. I was just going to stop it around my jawline, but I was like, no, I'm going to work on my neck. So that's what we did there, and that's why you see that in the finished product and stuff like that. So on the eyes and the nose and everywhere else where we put down the black, I put down the black so we could blend the different colors on it. And I'm using blues and purples, and I just use different colors. I use mostly metallics too. Of course, everything I will be using will be in the description box down below in order in case you are confused. But most of the eyeshadows I used were actually from the BH, the Galaxy Girl palette, I think. I'm pretty sure that's what it's called. The space one. They're kind of baked eyeshadows, but I thought they worked pretty well for this look. So those are just some of the blues on the eyes right now. I just wanted to get a nice frame for the mouth and jaw, what we were going to do for that before I started off anything else. So that, as you can see, I am lining it with that black, but that black is kind of like a, I think it's like a lip pen crayon. I don't know. I never follow the rules of makeup. Why should you? It's makeup, right? So as you can see, I'm just doing my jawline here, but we are going to change that soon. So, and then I'm working, just outlining that nose. Gonna lay down some black in there, and then just kind of build up from there. I just thought this would be the easiest way. That way there wouldn't be any like holes or anything like that in the actual, like the coloring of, you know, space. And space is kind of black, you know, it's just got all those pretty fun galaxy swirls and stuff like that too. Now we're doing some details around the quote-unquote skull and like the eyes and stuff like that. So I just used a light kind of ashy gray. Of course gray is ashy, but you know, not a really, really dark one, a light one, and I just kind of built everything up. I didn't like contour and do all that jazz. If you want to make it like super, you know, contoured and like chiseled and stuff like that, totally go for it. This was just kind of me having fun. I sat down for 2 hours and I just kind of played with makeup. I saw this look on Pinterest, or someone did something very similar, but they just used, they just stayed with the jawline, and I was like, you know what, I'm gonna do the whole thing. So that's why we did the whole thing. Well, the neck, you know, and all that stuff. But I think this is a pretty easy, fun look. I mean, it requires a lot of blending and a lot of like time, you know, kind of placing everything, and the white dots took forever. But I think it was really fun. Like if I could do one of my looks again from my 31 days, I think I'd redo this one and just kind of make it, I don't know, more interesting, more intricate, now that I know what I'm doing. A lot of these looks I go in for 31 days of Halloween. If you guys don't mind me ranting for a minute, I just kind of see them, or somebody suggests them to me, and I just kind of hop in and I do it that way. I've never done them before, and it gives me, you know, it's a challenge and it's exciting, you know, to do something you've never done before. So that's why I like to do that. So we're just jamming out, putting our teeth in. And we are starting to detail the white dots and stuff like that. Yep, we are. So this just is a lot. If you want to use something other than like, I used a white eyeliner, but if you want to use something different, totally go for it. I used a Jumbo eye pencil by NYX, the milk one for the teeth, and then I just kind of went back over that with the white eyeliner just so it would pop a little bit more. As you guys can see. There just a little bit, and then I did make my eyelashes white. It's really hard for me to find a really nice white eyelash, so I end up just making my own or using my own eyelashes. And for this look, I just wanted to use my own eyelashes since there was just so much going on. Sorry, I should have moved my mirror closer, but in retrospect, when I'm editing this, I always say that, and then I end up moving it, like tilting it. It's just how I'm comfortable putting on makeup. Is it like at a diagonal for me, not like right in front of me? I don't know why. I just feel comfortable working at a diagonal, so I'm sorry. but I know I need to tilt it for the camera. So yeah, like I said, the white is going to take you the longest time, depending upon how many dots, if you really want it to be like that, you know, and all that jazz. I wanted it to be pretty intergalactic, pretty star-y. You can use, you know, different colors too if you want to for the stars, quote unquote, you know, like far away stuff. I think pink would look pretty too, kind of give it that pop of color, pink, maybe yellow. Very interesting, kind of neon-y. So I'm working with, instead of the crayon and using that whole crayon on my neck, I'm using a face paint type material. It's like a water-based face paint. I don't usually use face paints, you guys. I don't know. If you guys know me, you know I like to use everything but the easy stuff because I like a challenge and I like to make it hard on me. Or I'm like, oh yeah, I have those colors, and then I try to hop in to do like, say, Maleficent look or something like that, and I'm like, oh, well, I have to resort to using lipstick and eyeshadow, which is totally fine. You can do it like that, but it's just 100 times harder. So that's why I used the face paint for my neck. So now we're just layering on those different colored blues and purples. The purples didn't really show up. I should have layered them a little bit more. I feel like they showed up a little bit more on the neck, where you could see the lighter purples at least. I felt like the darker purples kind of turned into blues, but that just could be like the base, you know, and the black. You can really see it on my jaw, the purples, I feel like, but around the eyes and the nose, like, you really couldn't see the purples too much. So I was like, well, so if you want to use more purples than blues, then be sure to use a like electric purple and just kind of keep placing that, like vice versa, like the metallic purples I was using. As you can see, the shadows I'm using are very reflective. They're very shiny, which is fine in the crayon because it's like it kind of mats it out, but over the face paint it doesn't really mat it out. I don't know if that's making any sense to you guys, but it makes sense to me. So I used bigger brushes, obviously not trying to give myself a headache here and use tiny detail brushes, but we did use tiny detail eyeliner applicator, which is fine. But like I said, you guys don't have to go ham with the white dots, but I was like, well, we're here and we've been sat down, so let's keep going for it. And you can make them as big as you want, and if you make them too big or they're too prominent, just run your fingertip over them. As you can see, I'm kind of like matting them, like dabbing them out to make them not so like apparent or like stark. Like if you make a mistake right there, as you can see, you can dab that out, or you can move it to a different area so you don't have like big spots all over. And this is the look. I just took my hair down. Feel free to use a wig, and I popped my white contacts in. Like I said, go for it, whatever you want to do. Make this as big, as dramatic as you want to, but I just thought this was very fun. My space skull, my intergalactic zombie space skull. I love you guys, and I will see you in the next day, day 27. It's kind of scary. I hope you guys can handle it. I love you all, and have a very happy and safe Halloween. Bye-bye.